And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the Dog back with the final UFC breakdown of the year, not the final MMA breakdown, however. With me is Brandon of MMA Wagers and a special guest here. Tried to make his appearance last week on the Bellator breakdown, but, things happen, aka the internet. And Cass Bell has made the time here, cashing as a plus plus 400 underdog or something in
It's like
this matchup.
450 or something in the beginning.
Plus 450 is what my ticket cashed as. So you do pay attention to the odds. That's kind of one of my first questions. You do pay attention to the odds?
I did at that time. Somebody told me, he's like, man, he's like, I'm making the bets, I'm making the bets on you. He's like, I feel like you're going to win and stuff. I'm like, of course I'm going to win. Yeah. And then they told me, he's like, right now it's 450 to 1 right now. So, so
it's
everybody,
pretty, I mean, that's pretty crazy because, the way I break down fights from anywhere from Cage Warriors. And by the way, Cass is in the gym right now. So the bags in the back you're hearing popping. This is the kind of guy he is. He gets a win against a big prospect and he's right back in the gym. So respect to you right there, Cass. There's no time being wasted in your mid 30s, is there? As a fellow mid 30s here, in a different game, but yeah, it's right back
clicking away. Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's clicking away, and I have a short. Everybody has a short, time right now, and mine's just even closer. So I'm just trying to keep it going. I took the 2 years off, or I say off. Just those are my 2 losses I took, but I really wasn't training. I really wasn't putting the effort in, and it really hit me hard. So now I'm like, back to focus, back motivated, back ready to get back on the grind like I was before when I was 5-0.
Yeah, you've been in Bellator your whole career, which is really, really cool. Huge thing that I'm a huge fan of that Bellator does do with certain fighters. And for you to be in the same organization over and over again, it was one of my huge keys with this Scoggins fight from this past weekend. I was like, he's been in there not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, 7 times now. And against the highest of the high level of competition too. I do always say this to fighters, and it's easy for me to say. I think losses are a requirement of MMA. And those 2 losses, they let you know where you wanted to be at the top. Those are 2 of the best guys in your division. I think you could easily be crossing paths with these guys down the line, especially with how quickly you want to get back in there.
Yep, exactly.
And just really quickly to go back to this last fight with Scoggins. I didn't understand the odds, and that's not me being a brown noser here. I never am. I always say it how it is. I didn't understand the odds from a perspective of who you guys had faced, your strengths as a fighter, and then I felt better than ever when I saw the weigh-ins. Did you rewatch the weigh-ins and see did you notice the size difference there in person as it appeared?
Oh yeah,
that was insane.
Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah, I definitely. Once I realized, his size. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I already had it in the bag. I already knew. I had that confidence going in, especially once I saw him. We actually were warming up, or not warming up, but we were doing our weight cuts or doing conditioning the week before, or down there at the Mohegan Sun, or at the hotel that we were staying at. And I was running. I was doing my jog. Yeah, just a nice, easy jog. And he actually came in and started running right next to me. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I was able to see him, size him up a little bit, see, who I'm against and stuff like that. And the size, I was not worried about the size and the strength.
No, I mean, it was, yeah. And especially with the style that you went in there and implemented, it was the game plan that both me and Brandon, we broke down your fight and we both picked Cass Bell. That was a completely confident pick there. And the way that I do odds, and now I'll shoot it over to Brandon, who is the reason that Cass is on the show. Shout out to Brandon being really, tenacious with going out after he goes after all the fighters, all levels. We love this game, man, and we really respect guys like you, Cass. You are the guys that I think MMA is all about, truly. But when I'm breaking down a fight, I don't look at the odds at first. I always just break down the fighters. So I was breaking down this fight. I was like, okay, this is pretty close. I anticipate Cass slight favorite, maybe pick him because of the name and the Scoggins being so known from the UFC, even though this is a different Scoggins. But you know how it is. Like, odds makers don't really understand this game yet. Clearly, minus 600 against Cass Bell here. And then I looked at the odds, and it was like cartoon eyes. You are one of my most confident underdogs of the entire year. I bet a lot of underdogs in a lot of spots, but you don't get a lot of plus 450 dogs where you cannot understand what the odds makers are thinking. It's like you lost to two of the best fighters in the division in the world, and not really that badly either, I might add. And easy for me to say watching the fights. I know that it's definitely tough, but I also think that because you are in your mid-30s, that recovery time, taking the time off to get better, it's showing here. And now you can stack up that win. I anticipate you didn't have a lot of injuries coming out of this fight.
Yep, no injuries. I'm injury free. I got back in the gym Monday, and I told Bellator and I told my manager, like, hey, I want to be on the next card. They have a San Jose card coming up. They got a Hawaii card coming up. They got a card in Europe going. A whole bunch.
Get them outside of Bellator City, Connecticut. Get them outside Upkinsville. Yeah. How many times have you had to fight there, Cass?
This is my third. That was my third time in Connecticut.
That's enough times in Connecticut.
Yep,
as an East
exactly.
Here, like, give them. I like how you throw in Hawaii. You're like, I know there's a card in Hawaii. That green would look great there with a little tan. Okay, Brandon, I will give it over to you. I really appreciate it again, Cass, you coming on, and that sound in the background. Whoever's kicking pads there, maybe we'll have to talk to them next because that's a shotgun show. I love it. But Brandon.
Well, first off, man, congrats again. You cashed big for us. I knew you had the capabilities and you showed it. In the fight, did it surprise you that Scoggins went for takedowns? He kind of turned the script on you.
Yep, exactly. I was really surprised about it, which was kind of nice because he was short, really short. So like for me to shoot on him is like I was thinking it was going to be a little harder than I was imagining to do. So when he started shooting on me, I mean I didn't mind it. I wish I would have done a little bit more on the defense wise. I kind of just like, all right, he got me down. All right, I'm going to chill. I'm going to, I was hoping he was going to do more stuff kind of thing, like attack me more. It's like work on my attack, like work on what I was going to be doing. Cause I had a lot of plans, but he just wanted to hold me down, which kind of was frustrated for me. I wanted to, to really go out there and throw. And, but he wanted to wrestle, which was, okay with me because I felt safe there and I had no injuries. Nothing was, so it was good. Yep.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right, cool. And
that worked out great.
Yeah, I think the interesting part, just to add on to that, is that, Scoggins, he's a very confident stand-up fighter. And when that, when a guy who's confident, not to go to the Conor McGregor, you shoot and you're a dusty bitch. But when you are known for your stand-up and you're shooting on the guy who's the grinder in this case, the bigger guy, like, I just was like, oh, beautiful, just like you. So, Brandon.
I love to see that. And when it did go all 3 rounds, John McCarthy had you winning. I had you winning. What did you think?
I was a little worried because I hate leaving it in the judges' hands. My first 4 fights, I finished all my guys. I never left it in the judges' hands. My 5th fight, and when I fought in Hawaii, I did leave it in the judges' hands. I was a little worried, but I knew I won that fight just because everything I was doing in there. And then the 2 that I lost. Well, besides the one that Scott's got me in, but my other one was, left in the judges' hands, which I already knew I lost that one. With Lugo, and just because my performance. And then, but with this one, it was close because I know he had the takedowns on me. He had the more control, more like cage control. I'd kind of say like when we were on the ground. But I did a lot more damage. I was doing a lot more damage in the positions. When I was, when we were going and stuff. So I knew that, but I never know what the judge is going to think. Sometimes they score the takedowns, could be a huge thing, but he didn't do nothing with it. I was elbowing him. I was punching him, doing what I needed to do, even when he took me down, but he was just holding on most of the time. So I thought I won, but like I said, I was nervous because it was a close fight. It was good back and forth. I got him up on the stand up. I was winning on the stand up, but he was getting me down on the ground, which kind of was like, but he was smart. I give him props, or I give him smart. Like he was smart for not going crazy on me and trying to punt, because that's what I was hoping. And once he starts going crazy, you start throwing elbows or punches and stuff. That gives me time to move and do what I need to do for my submissions and all that stuff. And that's what I was really looking for, especially in the 3rd round. I was going to go submit. I was going to submit him. That's what I wanted. But then all of a sudden, he's just hanging on. So he got the takedown. I pulled guard, and I'm like, oh wait, he's not even doing nothing. And anybody can hold on. It's really hard to submit somebody when they're just hanging on, playing defense the whole time. So I'm like, I got to get up, I got to get out, and I got to, try to finish this fight before the time runs up.
Yeah, he did nothing with the takedown, similar to the Danny Sabatello Rafael Stotts fight. So I'm really glad you got the W, man. You deserved it. Do you have any bantamweight, Bellator bantamweights in mind to fight, or are you just whatever they send you, you'll accept?
Yep. Like always, I've always been down to fight whoever they gave me. But I mean, James Gallagher was thrown in there, or his name popped up. So I would love to, fight him. Especially he's been out for a little bit too. So it'd be good to get him back on this, circuit and stuff. Go out to Europe and fight him out there or wherever they want to, or maybe San Jose in front of my crowd and bring him out there. But I mean, that's the one. I know there's a couple other guys. Josh Hill.
Josh Hill. I was just about to say
Josh Hill. Josh Hill finished
as well. So
yep, he knocked out actually Stoggins on the last fight.
Stoggins.
Yep. So it'd be cool to get and Josh Hill called me out last time or a while ago. So those guys are on my radar for sure. And then pretty much else, I mean, whoever else, they want to throw me into, Stockings was 10-2. A lot of guys were like, oh, you got to take an easier fight, takes, somebody, but I was like, no, I mean, this is what they gave me. And this is who I'm fighting, just like with Stotts, when I fought Stotts, they called me 3 weeks up before, hey, you want to fight, Stotts? And I was supposed to fight him beforehand when I was in really good shape. And I was like, yes, of course. And then they called me, 3 weeks out after COVID and all that stuff. I'm like, of course I still want to fight, but I maybe should have been a little smarter on that decision just because I knew how out of shape I was and what where I was at and in the fight game. But again, I'm a fighter, so I'm going to show up whenever I can and do it.
The green machine's always ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And even if I'm not ready, but I'm still ready.
Yeah, you'll get in there. Aaron mentioned last week that the crowd really helps you. Did you find the crowd gave you that extra boost?
Yes and no. So I was the first fight, which kind of like, I mean, it was, it was smaller crowd.
Yeah,
and so it was a smaller.
We gotta get you higher on that card.
Exactly.
Because
I know to get back up on that card.
I'm the guy who's at every prelim, and even into UFC, any level, these early prelims. I don't know what these people are doing who go to these fights because they like show up for like middle way through the main card, and then they'll leave halfway through like the co-main event. It's the weirdest thing sometimes. And so when you're on the first prelim, it is probably similar to the environment you were fighting in the last couple fights, huh?
Like, no, exactly. It was nice to have some of the crowd in there and stuff, but it still like it still wasn't the same. Exactly, it was empty. And like I had like my one buddy that was out there. He was out there, and I saw him when I first got out in the cage, so that was awesome. But again, I feed off the crowd. That's what I've always done my whole life, and everything that I've ever done. And so I mean, it's just like
we got to get you on the main card next time.
Yep, exactly. I go through the crowd. I can hear I hear my people. I hear my friends. I look out in the crowd. If I'm dying, if I'm tired, and I'm like, oh man, this is hard. I see the right people, and it just gets me going again. Gives me that extra amp that I just grew up on. That's just what I've grown up on. Something I maybe it should change, but it's just it's hard. It's something I love to do. I love to fight in front of all my people and all my friends, family, and all them. So
you've always been in California?
Yeah, I've lived in California my whole life. Humboldt County, Arcata, my whole life.
Right on.
Yep. That's awesome, man. I could talk to you all day, Cass. Honestly, well, we're gonna have you back on. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
You are like, and this will mean something more eventually in this sphere, but you are a dog approved fighter. You are an absolute dog. You are the type of guy who I get behind. I support. Just all the best in your career. Make the good decisions here in 2023, please.
Yep.
Because I want to see you continue with the success. But those fights that you listed off, both are, I mean, you could list off 5-6 other fighters. That's just the type of fighter you are. You get put in matchups and they're watchable. And I think that the odds makers are going to keep underestimating you. They're going to look at be like, oh, he's in his mid 30s. Oh, he's, not that good. Like it was and let them do it. Let them do it.
Yep. No, exactly. We'll still get paid. Everyone's getting paid.
We're getting paid green. More, man. Bet on green. Go green. As a Michigan State fan, that means something, but go green, Cass Bell. Good luck with your training. Stay healthy, and we look forward to Fight News soon. Take care, my friend.
Okay, sweet. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Peace out. You too. Thank you for the time.
See you, man.
See you. Cass Bell. Awesome, good dude. Great dude. Definitely the type of dog that we like having on this show. Congrats to all you that cashed with us. I see OV Locks. You followed our advice. Went Cass, Lencioni, and Patchy. I also cashed that parlay. That is exactly. Put your McDonald's down on that, and you've made rent. So congratulations to everybody who cashed with us. I don't think we're going to get plus 450 on Cass Bell next time, but if he gets against Gallagher, we're going to get like plus 140. We'll get plus 140 or something, I bet.
More than that, I believe, yeah.
I don't know. Gallagher has lost a lot of his.
Yeah, he's
value.
been sketchy, and he's with James Krause right now, so that makes it even sketchier.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right, this is the UFC Vegas 66 show. We started out with that interview because we did want to get Cass on. We tried to get him on last week, he couldn't make it, but got him on after a win. So that was nicely done. Let's see what dogs we cash this card, but we're going to start out here. Last card of the year. Yeah, I was already on Patchy. I totally owe Lencioni and Bell to you guys. Appreciate it. Ovia, glad to help there. And shout out to Cass Bell, giving me a reason to watch Bellator in the future. There you go.
Get him on that main card.
Absolutely. It would kill me if it was Josh Hill, though, because I really like both those guys a lot. And
yeah.
They're both like later in their careers. Like whoever loses that would be really sad. But we could talk about that all day. We could talk about robberies of Patty, or not of Patty, but of Jared Gordon. But Jared Gordon robbed himself at the end of the day. And one thing that Cass said, that has been talked about a lot with the judging is damage matters the most now. That is very clear what matters most. And so we just kind of need to get that through our heads. And, I think that, take that into account as we take
Put that into perspective big time.
Yeah. Like it's like control is very not important.
It's gone.
Yeah. So it's out of control. So, all right, we're starting here. Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newsom. Do you have headphones? You're a little echoey, I think.
Yeah, I can probably get headphones. Am I still echoey?
It's just a little bit. Otherwise, just mute when you're not on, whichever you want to do. But all right, Morozov versus Journey Newsom here. Newsom here. A lot of really close fights on this card. This one that's closer than I think. A lot of people are giving credit for, just because Sergey Morozov, he's a very good wrestler who, hold on, you got. He's a very good wrestler. We'll just wait a second. Sorry about this. Hold on, you got. He's a very good wrestler. We'll just wait a second. Sorry about this. Brandon, mute yourself. Okay, I'm going to try again here. So Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newsom here at 135. Brandon, mute yourself.
Yep, I'm going to mute now.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry about that. Okay. Morozov, the good wrestler, Journey Newsom, more known for the stand-up, but does have good defensive wrestling himself. So that's kind of where I'm a little bit stuck here so far. Morozov takes a lot of damage, and Journey does have decent power. He's kind of small for the division, though, and he's a little bit inactive. Coming off that win of Fernie Garcia, going against Morozov here. Garcia fight, it was pretty close, and I just didn't really change any of my ratings on Newsom here, but for me, he's kind of got a puncher's chance. He's got that punch finish of Domingo Pilarte in his second UFC fight, but it was overturned due to weed. He's been knocked out. He can, he's tough to be taken down, so I wouldn't exactly say that's the route to go. But Morozov, former champion over with M1, beat some good competition over there as well. Good wrestler as well as a good boxer. Losses to Umar Nurmagomedov and Douglas Silva de Andrade. Looked much better in his last go-around with Rulian Paiva. I just think that for me, I'm not looking to get behind either one of these sides that much, just because I do think Morozov, if he struggles with the takedowns, can kind of start to brawl when he doesn't get into takedowns and leave himself open, like we've seen in the Douglas Silva de Andrade fight. But yeah, not betting this fight at all. Journey Newsom, not very good. I think he's pretty much got a puncher's chance in this one. So I'm going to go with Morozov, but no bet for me decision.
Yeah, I like Morozov as well. I just think he's faced the better opposition in the past couple years. He's faced Umar Nurmagomedov, Khalid Taha, Douglas Silva de Andrade, and Julian Paiva, while Journey Newsom has faced Domingo Pilarte, not in the UFC anymore, Randy Costa. I'm not sure if he's still in the UFC, but He hasn't looked great lately, and then he got that win over Fernie. We just saw Fernie lose his last fight as well. So I just like Sergey's progression here. He has been submitted like 5 times, so I am gonna put Journey Newson as a submission prop just in case. But at the end, because Journey does have 3 submissions, one of them's a rear naked choke. He has 3 submissions as an amateur, 2 rear naked chokes, and all of Morozov's losses have come by rear naked choke. So you just never know. But at the end of the day, yeah, Morozov is the better, well-rounded MMA fighter. He's faced the better opposition. He's been more active. I like him at minus 275, and I'll hedge Journey Newson by submission.
Yep. Justin saying 45-55 Maraza. Dude has a puncher's chance for Newson like Da Silva did if he can rock him. I did pick Da Silva. I think Da Silva's much better than Newson, though. So yeah,
for sure. And I think Morozov sharpened his cardio up after that fight because he went all 3 rounds with Paiva, got the 29-28.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. And so, you know, I mean, Morozov, I think sometimes fights guys a little closer than he should. Not a great quality, and a minus 275 favorite. No, thank you. Plus 225 on Journey here. Yeah, dog or pass, I guess. But yeah, either way.
Yeah, that submission prop would be juicy, I believe. But
yeah, that's got to be a very large submission prop. So yeah, it's not a bad stab either. Next fight is another close one. We have a ton of close fights on this card. And David Vorek, not Dvorak, David Vorek, there's no D, you don't pronounce the D at least, versus Mano Kape, I believe. You pronounce the E with a little accent at the end. But anyways, this is a good fight here. Undertaker versus Starboy, striker versus predominantly a grappler in David. Manal Starboy, 17-6 out of Portugal. 28 years old, out of Extreme Couture, 2 straight wins since kind of starting rocky in his UFC career with the 2 losses to Pantoja and then a split to Nicolayo, who knows what Matthias is doing now, but it looks like maybe a title shot. Ode Osborne and Zalgas Zumagulov both finished in the first round by Kopp. So looks like he's finally starting to do kind of what he was expected to do over here. But, you know, it's hard to say with Manel because he's another guy who does not put his foot on the gas a lot of the times. Like he looks really good, but you know, sometimes he's hesitant. He's got really good speed, really good athleticism, great power as well. And Vorek is quite stiff on the feet. Like stiff, he's slow. I think Manal is going to have a huge speed advantage. I think Vorek's going to have to find a way to get to the ground. The Czech fighter is 30 years old. 20-4, lost his last time out to Nicolayo. He lost by a unanimous, while Manel lost by split. Then his other win was over Juan Camilo Ronderos. He choked him out with one arm, so how good of a win is that? Probably not a great one, to be honest. Had a unanimous decision of Espinoza and Silva. He's looked okay inside the octagon, but it does look like kind of when he's up against the more plus athlete, he is a little bit of a step behind. I think he's going to struggle with the takedowns here. Manel has pretty good takedown defense, even when he's not wearing his wrestling shoes. So I got Manel in this one, and I think he puts him away by KO.
Okay. David Dvorak. Yeah, this is a really competitive fight. I'm surprised it's the second fight on the card.
Yeah, it's crazy high level.
Both these guys are ranked, I believe. Yeah, really good fight, man. David Dvorak, 20 wins, only 4 losses, 3-1 in UFC. Manel Kopp, 17-6 overall, 2-2 in the UFC. The thing is, Manel has 16 out of 17 finishes, 94%, and David Dvorak has only been finished once by a cut in round 2. He's got good fight IQ. I think he's got good footwork. He's got good cardio. I just think if Manel Kopp doesn't get this, if he doesn't finish Dvorak in the first round and a half, it's gonna start to sway into Dvorak's favor. I think Manel Kopp does slow down a bit, and he gets caught up in the close decisions. So I am gonna take the split decision prop on this fight as well. And yeah, I just see if Manel Kopp doesn't finish him, it's going to be closer than what the lines indicate. I think Manel Kopp's like a minus 200 right now. And his past 2 fights, he did get the round 1 finishes, but it was against O'Day Osborne, and Kopp missed weight. And then it was against Zamugulov. That was a good win. Manel Kopp can put anybody away in round 1. He's so dangerous, man.
Yeah.
But I just think David Dvorak can, stick and move, watch his P's and Q's. And I like the line here. I like David Dvorak at plus 195, and I like the over 2.5 at minus 165. I think it's going to be closer than what the line indicates.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking to bet this one minus 240 plus 200 on Dvorak or on Vorik, not Dvorak. It's Vorik. Yeah, I know it's always, but yeah, good fight. I do think Kopp is the ability to win a decision too. I think it's a little bit overrated that how much he's KO or bust. I think because he gets so many quick KOs and sometimes waits around a little too much. He's been over kind of pointed as just KO or bust, but I get the call by you as well. Should be a good one. Next fight is one that you can go ahead and break down if you want to. I don't break down Brian Battle fights, so good luck to both guys. But if you have any thoughts on this fight, go ahead.
Battle is coming in short notice in this fight. He's had a really good 2022. He's got 2 knockout, he beat Trishan Gore, which was like the Ultimate Fighter finale in a lot of people's eyes. So I think he is the Ultimate Fighter winner. And then he got that head kick knockout in 44 seconds, notching an extra $50K for a performance of the night. But this is a big step up in competition, in my opinion. This Russian, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but I'm going to call him,
Fakhradanov. Renat Fakhradanov.
Renat. He looked great in his UFC debut. He had a wrestling match after his UFC debut. Actually got a knockout somehow in wrestling. I don't know how that works, but
Who
I think
cares? A wrestling knockout? No, we're not going to consider that.
It says 1-0 wrestling record, won by
right. No, I get it. We're just not gonna. Yeah. We're not gonna.
Don't really put that into perspective too much. But I just think if he gets the takedowns going on Battle, it's just going to be rinse and repeat. This is a whole different step up in competition. Like Trishan Gore, Takashi Sato, Gilbert Urbina, Renat would have his way with all those guys. So Battle coming in short notice. I know he's in the gym 24/7 or like he's always training, but I'm going to take Renat here. I think he gets the decision win. He got 5 takedowns in his UFC debut. He looked stellar, man. He got 30-26. I know it was against the Greek Michailidis, but still, like,
you fight who's in front of you. Record. Yeah,
20 wins, 2 losses. I'll take Renat.
I mean, I don't have anything to say about this. Other than that, it's takedowns versus takedown defense. If the takedown defense is there, Renat's going to struggle because he has very sloppy stand-up, like looping shots that I think can be countered. But
and Battle's a big boy, actually. He's a bit. I thought he'd be a bigger underdog in this spot. That's why. If he was like plus 200, I'd take Battle.
Yeah, 3 fights, 3 passes. Going to be a great card. That's the spirit, Kelly.
That's the theme of the card, actually. It's a lot of close fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of passes. I'm not sure if we're getting past it here with the next fight, 155, Rafa Garcia versus Mahate. I'll say here. This is another one that I think is super close and really, really tough to call, to be honest with you. Mahate is much better than I thought he was coming in. Esther Marunda on the Contenders series, he knocked out after a wild first round where he was hit quite a bit. He hit his opponent quite a bit. Hang on one second. I just need to take this call real quick.
Okay. So what Aaron was saying, probably he was going to say Mahati is like, He's a knockout artist. He's got 5 out of 9 finishes, 2 in round 1, 3 in round 2. Are you off? You're good?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I'll let you go.
I'm sorry. It's I'm dealing with a health issue with my family at home. But with this one, I think it's a very close fight. Mahate gets hit quite a bit for my liking. Rafa Garcia really slows down as the fight goes on. Mahete is huge as well. I don't really know his takedown defense because it's hard to find a lot of his fight tape, but he's got a huge frame to him. He's only 22 years old, out of China. He's very, very respected prospect here. This is a fight which, to me, I just don't think Rafa Garcia can pull off the game plan he needs to for 15 minutes. It's going to be a very grappling intensive, pressure intensive game plan that I think is just going to require a gas tank he doesn't possess. And, if it kind of turns into a phone booth, or like kind of a brawl, both guys get hit a lot. Both guys have, defense issues, but I think Rafa has better striking defense at the same point. It's just going to get really, really close here. Again, 4 fights in, too many unknowns for me in this one. But, Rafa Garcia has a better strike differential from distance. He actually has like a 2-to-1 strike differential from distance, which is really good. Mahete does not have that. He got cracked a lot by Steven Garcia in that fight. I think Rafa Garcia cracks him and puts him away, actually. If Rafa doesn't get too desperate with the takedowns and gas himself out, I think he should win this one. So I'm going to go with Rafa here. But we don't know about this Chinese fighter yet. Like we clearly, but he gets hit a lot. I think it's just a matter of time.
Small sample size we have.
Yep.
But this fight reminds me of the Natan Levy versus that Mexican Hanero Valdez.
Yes.
Yeah, like Hanero Valdez, a lot of power. He was a little more inexperienced than Natan Levy. It just kind of reminds me of that fight. If Mahete's going to have a strong first round. I think he wins the first round. But if Rafa Garcia can weather that early storm, I think he gets starts stringing the takedowns together. He puts the volume on. Rafa Garcia has takedowns in every single one of his UFC fights, 3, 7, and 5. So he can get the takedown game going. Way more experience on Rafa Garcia. He's been a professional since 2014. This Mahete is only 23, and he only has 3 years of experience. So, we got Rafa. There is a lot of tape on Rafa, though. So there's that. And I think Rafa gets it done here, man. I think he's never lost. He's never been finished. He's lost by 3 decisions, 3 unanimous to Nasrat in his UFC debut, coming in short notice to Grutzmacher. I'm surprised he lost to Grutzmacher. And then he lost to Drakkar Klose coming in short notice as well. So he's got a full camp here. I like his odds. I think he weathers that early storm. I think he's going to win this 29-28.
Yeah, it's just interesting because we're counting on Rafa to survive the first round and then take over, but that was his problem against Grutzmacher. Was he had a very good almost 10-8 first round and then had nothing left in the tank against Grutzmacher. So but I do think Drakkar Klose going down to Mahete is quite a step down in competition. What Drakkar Klose would do to Mahete at this point, I think would be pretty bad as well. Rafa Garcia minus 130. First of my picks who I would consider betting on here. But you can get Mahete. I think he'll probably be an even money dog by fight night just because of that finish over Steven Garcia. But go back and watch that fight. Steven Garcia almost finished him too.
So he looks like a live by the sword, die by the sword type of fighter.
Live by the machete, die by the machete. Right. But next fight here, the battle of Said Nurmagomedov taking on Said Yukub Krakaromanov here. Battle of the Saids here. Really good fight. Probably my fight of the night, if I'm being honest. Both these guys are very good. Said Nurmagomedov does not fight like a Nurmagomedov because he's not actually related to like Khabib and Umar. Much more of a stand-up fighter, although he does have that quick finish of Cody Stamann. Said Yukub, 10-2, has faced high levels of competition in the PFL, losing to Umar, and then Pipe Vargas on the regional scene, and then making it to the UFC, taking on Trevin Jones, getting that finish with 20 seconds to go. Really just sick guillotine. And then against Ronnie Lawrence, turned Ronnie Lawrence's game plan against him, 10 of 16 on the takedowns. Just really showing that he can take the game to where he needs to win the fights. Very well-rounded, good stand-up fighter as well. Said Nurmagomedov, also very good, well-rounded fighter, stand-up as well. 3 straight wins coming into this, 16-2. Wins over Mark Striegel, Cody Stamann very quickly, and then the Douglas Silva de Andrade decision. Really was looking good in the Douglas Silva de Andrade fight, besides the spot in the second round where De Silva ended up catching him. But yeah, with Said, he's good, but he's still, after all this time in the UFC, like around 15 in the rankings. Kind of surprising here for me. Said Yukub has looked really good against 2 fighters who have tried to take away his game plan with grappling and wrestling, and he's shut it down in 2 very different ways. I think Said Yukub is on the up and up here, man. I think Nurmagomedov is very, very good as well. I think these guys are meeting, close to their primes, both of them. I think it's going to be a really close fight. Cracker Romanov is going to land the more impactful shots here and edge out a decision. So give me Said Yukub by decision.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree. This is one of the fight of the nights for sure.
So good.
Yeah, this is really high level. I think it's going to go all 3 rounds. It's going to be back and forth, really technical fight. Kak Romanov just keeps surprising me, man. I'm 0-2 picking him. I think against him versus
the way he beat Ronnie Lawrence was crazy.
Yeah, I was so high on Ronnie Lawrence.
10 of 16 takedowns for Said Yukub.
He got 10 takedowns.
Right, 10 of 16 on his takedown.
10 of 16, yeah.
That's what
he
got
a 30-26 scorecard.
Crazy.
But Said's going to know that now, right? Like, he's going to see that tape. He's going to be in there getting that takedown defense on point. He's training out a Dag Fighter and Ahmed fight team, some of the best grapplers in the world. He's coming off that win over Douglas Silva de Andrade. Cody Stamann, he got performance of the night. Mark Striegel, 51 seconds. Hani Barcelos, it was a close fight, 29-28. And then we got Kokranov, facing Trevin Jones, Ronnie Lawrence, Tyson Lin, and then Asker, he got a 39-second knockout over. Both these guys are dangerous. It's a really hard fight to pick. I see why it's a pick 'em in the odds. Said's got the more UFC experience, 5-1, only losing to Barcelos. His other loss was to Bibulotov. Magomed, I can't remember. Bibulotov. You probably know him. It was for a tournament championship. And then
Karamanov. Fine. It's really hard to say names live, Labyrinth. Karamanov. I'm working on it. In 2023, here's 2 things that are coming in 2023. Better pronounced names, and I'm keeping track of my record from the beginning of the year. I'm going to keep track of my picks record from the beginning of the year, finally. But
we'll do
Karamanov also on it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're not all John Anik, okay? We can't all be John Anik. But shortest average fight time in the UFC bantamweight division for Said Nurmagomedov, only 6 minutes. And he's got the 4th least strikes absorbed. He's really good at footwork, staying out of danger. I'm going Said Nurmagomedov, but Kokranov, he always surprises me. I'm probably going to be 0-3 picking him, but I'm still going to fade him. This is a big step up from Ronnie Lawrence. Give me Said at -110.
Yep. So you're on Said Nurmagomedov. I'm on Karamanov here, -110 on both sides. I am on Tapology. I just sometimes forget to complete it. We're literally on Tapology right now. Sometimes I just forget.
Go to the fighter, and we'll see your.
I just forget to. Here, I'll just start picking them as we're going or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But either way, no. All right, next fight here. Moving up the middleweight division here. This is not my fight of the night. This is Julian Marquez versus Deron Winn. Yuck. This is nah. I don't like this fight at all. I don't really rate Julian Marquez that well. He's coming back from getting knocked out like 2 or 3 times against one of my favorite fighters in the world, and Gregory Rodriguez. And now he's taking on a guy who has no power in the stand-up, in Deron Winn. Deron Winn just is a busted prospect if there ever was one. I don't really rate him very highly. I don't understand why this fight's not opening up the card. Deron Winn is 7-3 now. He lost to Phil Hawes last time out. after getting absolutely beat down throughout the entire fight. It was not very good. Beat Antonio Arroyo. Otherwise, he's been, just not doing great. Julian Marquez puts on a lot of fight of the night performances. Good gas tank. I'll give him that. Defensively, isn't that sound, as Gregory Rodriguez showed. That was in June, so he's only been off for 6 months. That's one of my questions, but Deron Wynn's not going to exploit that. Julian Marquez just out cardios him and maybe makes Wynn quit, but I don't know. Julian Marquez. Decision. Yeah. I don't like this fight at all.
Yeah, Deron Wynn, when he shoots him for takedowns, Julian Marquez does have a anaconda and a guillotine. And so, yeah, Deron Wynn could definitely get caught in one of those. I know Mearshart finished him in round 3. Yeah, it's a wrestler versus a striker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it is always with Deron Wynn. He's one of the shortest fighters in the division. It's always hard to face those shorter fighters. Like, it's just different range and everything. Julian Marquez, I think, gets it done, though. I think he can finish him. He's also training out of Glory MMA with James Krause, so that's always kind of sketchy to see that.
Yeah, Hawes really did beat the shit out of Deron Wynn.
Oh, man. That was
they both got beat up bad.
That was a bully beatdown right there.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, Deron Wynn, I just don't see him adding any more tools to his game. He's got a takedown and a strong right overhand right. That's it.
All right,
Julian Marquez, 9 out of 9 finishes. He's never been to a decision. He's lost by decision, but he's always got it done inside the distance. I like him inside the distance here. I like the fight not to go the distance at minus 205.
Yeah.
And unless and I'm gonna hedge Deron Wynn by a decision because that's the only way he wins this fight.
Justin with some great comments here. Wynn gonna try to get on Marquez's back. If Marquez does his tape, go watch Austin Powers 1. That's actually Spilo shagged me. Austin Powers 2 is when Mini Me gets on his back, and they said also for tape Leprechaun and Gremlins 1 and 2. So some solid commentary from Justin here. The odds. For Julian Marquez, he is overwhelming favorite for Julian Marquez at minus 175, plus 150 on Deron Wynn. That's how bad Julian Marquez is. He can't even be 2-1 against Deron Wynn. Like that is something. So yeah, that's enough of that fight.
I'm not really touching that fight.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to be watching it.
Pretend that fight's not even on the card.
Yeah, this fight's much better though. Jake Matthews, who. He's one of the 4 or 5 worst bets against this year I had when I bet Andre Fiallo in that fight. Jake Matthews was a revelation in that fight. And now you're going to have to pay for it if you want to believe in Jake Matthews, because I'm sure his odds are totally out of control. And sure enough, they were when I looked at him. This is a good fight. Matthew Semelsberger, Matthew Semi the Jedi, is the opponent of Jake Matthews here. So right off the bat, my pick is going to be Jake Matthews. He's very well-rounded. I think he's going to go back to much more of his takedown game in this fight. I think a lot of people who aren't as familiar with Jake, which I don't know how you couldn't be since he's been in the UFC so long, but if you aren't, are going to expect him kind of a similar performance to the Fiallo fight. I don't think that would be smart or wise against Semelsberger. I think Semelsberger is much better defensively. He's a bigger guy, pretty dangerous on the feet. For Jake, just make this an MMA fight. Work the takedowns, work your position there, and work the cardio of Matthew Semelsberger, because those are the advantages for Jake Matthews in this fight. Jake's faced a better level of competition as well, and I think it's just clear he's improving still in his UFC career because he's still so young. So Jake Matthews is just better than Matthew Semelsberger. The price absolutely sucks. So I'm passing.
It's not that bad.
It's not great.
I got him at minus 265. Has his odds went up?
Yeah, they've crawled up a little bit, but even at that price, I'm not crazy. I'm just not a huge Jake Matthews fan, I'll be honest.
Okay.
He's he came. There's a reason I was so heavily on Fiallo in that last fight, which turned out to be a mistake. But I'm not just going to completely flip the bet here and be rushing to bet nearly a 3-1 Jake Matthews.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I like Jake Matthews as well. He really should get this done. This will be a 17th UFC fight. It's crazy how long he's been in the UFC. He started his out on the Ultimate Fighter, that Canada versus Australia season. I know his dad's one of his coaches. He's Australian. I'd like to see him versus Jack Della Medellina, whatever his name is. Two Australians going at it.
Jack Della is great. Oh man,
that'd be a crazy fight. But he's got the 4th best significant striking defense in the welterweight division, so that's going to fare very well against a striker like Matthew Semmelsberger. He's got the 3rd least strikes absorbed per minute in the division as well. So he really knows how to get the numbers in his favor and just out volume his opponents. And I think he does that here. Matt is 10-4. He's got 7 out of 10 finishes, 3 in round 1, 3 in round 2. I just think if he doesn't get it done inside the distance, Jake Matthews is going to have his way. I know he beat AJ Fletcher, but that was AJ Fletcher's UFC debut. He beat Jason Witt. I think Jason Witt is retired. Carlton Minus, that Alaskan, and Minus came in short notice. Like, listen to these opponents, and then listen to Jake Matthews. We got Sean Brady, Andre Fialio, Emil Weber Meek, Diego Sanchez. I know Diego Sanchez at that point isn't that great, but I got Jake Matthews all day here. I think he's one of my more confident picks on the card, and probably by decision. I don't think Semmelsberger's only been finished to chaos, I believe.
No, Chaos went to a decision with him, didn't he?
Once. Yeah, I think. Wait, lost by 1 knockout. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's not a bad shout at all. Minus 275 on a guy who you're most likely going to decision, just for me, is a tough go about it.
Yeah, Matthews by decision prop bet.
Yeah, he should take this one by decision's probably close to even money. But next fight here, strawweight fight. We did not miss the females being off last week. At least I didn't. I'll speak for myself.
You thought this woman retired too.
Yeah, we're back with Cheyenne Velissima, also known as Cheyenne Dolidze, taking on Corey McKenna here. Oh my God, this is a fight that, let me just tell you, what's the point in trying to predict this fight, guys? Bet the split decision prop or pass. That would be my advice here. Both these ladies fight very, very closely in a lot of their fights. Corey McKenna popping 7-2, coming off a win of Miranda Granger. She did put her away by Von Flue. But otherwise, a lot of decisions there. Vanessa Demopoulos, Kay Hansen, and Elise Reed all were decision fights. Cheyenne Velissima, Cheyenne Dolidze, whatever you want to call her, Cheyenne, whatever. Lost to Mazerat by getting taken down by the same scarf choke over and over again. That kind of lets me know her level of grappling. Corey McKenna is a better grappler than Mazerat Ruiz. So I get Gloria DePaula got knocked out. Mallory Martin is just Mallory Martin. Corey McKenna could hold her down for 2 rounds, have a close 3rd round. Split decision and everything. Forrest Daniels, this dude is so weird. I'll just bring him up right now. This guy, is he your friend?
Facebook buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, because he likes to make a lot of comments, and he's showing up here all the time. He likes to bringing logic and common sense. Let me ask you, Forrest, do you think I don't bring logic and common sense to my channel? I'll just let him. Yeah, I'll just let him, because he seems to have a lot to say. So, if he wants to, leave, he can go ahead and leave. I don't need him here. But either way, I'm glad that he can
support Aaron too, man.
Yeah, dude, he seems to have a problem with me, so I have no problem bringing it up right now. If you want the link for us, I can send you the link so you can come talk to me on air. Otherwise, you can just keep these comments to yourself. Anyways, go ahead, Brandon. I got the split decision prop on both sides. I'm slightly edging towards Corey McKenna because I think she can hold her down with the grappling, but Cheyenne can take this too.
Yeah, definitely play the split decision prop. Both these ladies, similar experience, 7-2. Corey McKenna is 7 exactly the same, 7-2. Corey McKenna 2-1 in the UFC. Cheyenne Base 2-1 in the UFC. So good matchmaking. They both are coming off the Contender Series as well. Corey McKenna, I think she's been more active. She's looked good. I thought she got robbed against Elise Reed. I'm very surprised they gave that to her, especially in London. She looked great against Kay Hansen. She's cashed as an underdog twice already. I believe she's an underdog here. I've already got a bet on her. She's got takedowns in her past 2 fights, 3 takedowns. And I'm very surprised Mallory Martin and Cheyenne Bays got fight of the night, that UFC. That did not deserve fight of the night. Bates came in short notice as well, and it's Mallory Martin. She's not the best opposition. She got that sketchy head kick against Gloria DePaulo, almost illegal, but she notched $50K there. She got fight of the night, so she's got $100K in her past 2 fights. I just think Corey McKenna is going to be more hungry. I think she's difficult to fight. I think she gets on the inside, gets it done. I don't know where Cheyenne Bay's headspace is right now. I like the team alpha male Wales fighter Corey McKenna to get a split decision win. I like her odds as well.
That's good. And we'll put this to bed now that he's backpedaled his comments from. This isn't just from this video, by the way. This is on the Facebook post last week as well for us. Like, it's over and over again. You're coming at me. So don't pretend I misinterpreted this. But I'm glad that you are enjoying the breakdown. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But that's the end of that. I just have no problem if people want to talk. I have no problem talking back to him. Brandon knows this from the years of working with me as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, we're all friends here in this.
Yeah, like we're all trying to cash against the bookies. You're not trying to cash against me. Like, seriously, I don't get this. Like the Jessies of the world, right? The Jessies of the world. All these people, like, I don't know why they're so like jealous. Like, just have some fun, make your picks, and don't worry about it. So anybody who wants to come on and talk is always welcome to. I'll drop the link anytime.
And I got Corey McKenna at plus 160, by the way.
Yeah, and she's at 160 still as of now. So definitely, I think a good underdog. If you're looking at one, I could see the split definitely being in play here, though. But main card time, somehow we're deciding this is where we're starting the main card with. That's good for us. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We'll talk about the fights. Cody Brundage versus Michel Olajaychuk, also known as Lord Juicer, as I will always call him, or Lord. I don't think he is Lord anymore, is he? Let's see. He's Hussar now. So he's upgraded from Lord to Hussar. Michel Olajaychuk, though, 17-5, very good, hard-hitting fighter, coming off that knockout of Sam Alvey. He's doing the Lord's work and everything like that. So yeah, we're all very happy. He's a good striker, man. I mean, he's knocked out, a few frauds along the way, like Antigulov, like Jean Vellante, like Gamazotov and Alvey. So he's knocking out low levels of fighters. And when he doesn't get the knockout, he does kind of struggle. Had to split decision with Bukowskis. It's been finished twice by submission. The grappling definitely his weakness. Jimmy Crute and Ovin St. Preux. And then Dustin Jacoby was just a sharper striker. Cody, not going to be the sharper striker. Cody has improved the stand-up, but that's not where he's going to go. He's going to go to grind. This is a short notice replacement. Fight for him. He was supposed to fight Rodolfo Vieira last month, though, so I anticipate he'll be in good shape coming into this, but a very different type of threat. Trishan Gore had moments for Brundage. Dalcha had moments, but both guys, moments weren't enough. Brundage did make it through it. He's really improved the grappling as he's gone along into not just being a position guy, but working on the submissions. I think the loss to Maximov helped him a lot. For me, Olajaychuk is just too one-dimensional for me. Cody Brundage is really improved. I think he's smart enough to avoid kind of the power strikes of Olajaychuk that are particularly early. Olajaychuk really slows down as the fight goes on as well. So I think Brundage is a very live dog for me. I do like that he was preparing for a fight against a high-level of opponent, a different type of opponent in Vieira, but still similar opponent as to Olajaychuk here. So I like Brundage, man. I think he just grinds out a decision here. So plus 220, give me Cody Brundage.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Cody Brundage trains with Dustin Jacoby, and Jacoby already has fought Michel. So yeah, Michel has beat him. Jacoby beat him. So yeah, Dustin Jacoby will have great insight to give Cody Brundage. I just don't like the short notice. He's had a great 2022. He's got 2 first-round finishes. He came in short notice against Trishan Gore as well, and he got it done. So He's always in the gym training. He's married to a former UFC fighter, Amanda Bobby Cooper. He's a wrestler, man. His striking's not the best. It's always improving. He's with Dustin Jacoby. But if he can't get it done, Michel's going to have his way. He's got the fourth most strikes landed per minute in the division. He's got the second best significant striking defense. I'm not sure about his takedown defense. Like, nobody ever really shoots on him. All his opponents have been strikers, right? Except for Jimmy Crute. I think Jimmy Crute got him down and got the Kimura round one.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost by submission twice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. If Brundage came in on a full camp, I'd have more confidence. But I think I'm going to lean Michel just to keep it on the feet here, outstrike him. And fight doesn't go the distance I like as well at -280. But yeah, gotcha. I don't know, man. Now you're swaying. You're worrying me now.
Yeah, no. I got you. And yeah, I think this is a totally reasonable disagreement here. Again, like most of the fights on this card, but right now, Olajaychuk, he was preparing for Duriev, so he probably was preparing for the grappling. But regardless, I like Brundage here plus 220, -275 on Michel. And so next fight, I'm going to have you tee up. I just have to answer this text really quickly, dealing with this medical issue, and then I'll get right back to it. But this is another fight of the night, potential fight.
All right. We got Drew Dober, Bobby King Green. Drew Dober, 34, 11 wins in the UFC, 7 losses, 1 no contest. Both these guys very experienced, have been in the UFC a long time now. Bobby Green is one of those fighters who came from Strikeforce. He's got 10 wins in the UFC, 8 losses, but a lot of those losses could have went the other way. They were sketchy decisions. Like, he's got 8 decision losses, 6 unanimous to Barboza, Drakkar Klose, Francisco Trinaldo, Thiago Moraes, and Rafael Fiziev, and then 2 split. One was to Rashid Magomedov. Really good opposition. He's got the 5th longest average fight time in the division, 13 minutes. He's got the most significant strikes landed in the division, 1,404. He's got the most total strikes landed, 1,620. He's got the 4th most strikes landed per minute, 6 strikes landed per minute, 2nd best striking differential. The credentials just go on for Bobby Green. A lot. He's really underestimating. He did get popped for that. I don't know. He said it at the press conference today. It was something he bought at Walmart. He's not a cheater. He didn't mean to take something that would enhance illegally or get an advantage on a fighter. He said it all at the press conference today. You can listen to him. Drew Dober, really good stand-up fighter as well. This is going to be 3 rounds on the feet. Unless Bobby Green, he could go for his wrestling, get a couple takedowns. Both these guys have lost to Islam Makhachev as well. I think this is going to be a really close fight. Drew Dober has power, man. He's got the 2nd most knockouts in the division. He's got the 4th most knockdowns. He's got the 4th most knockdowns averaged per 15 minutes. So Bobby Green has to mind his P's and Q's, but he does have really good defense. He's got the shoulder roll. He makes it work. It looks like he's getting hit, but he's really not. He's getting hit on the shoulder. I think we should play the split decision prop on this fight. Take the over, and I like Bobby Green as an underdog. I got him at I got Bobby Green at plus 130, and I took the over 2.5 at minus 185. I'm not sure if Aaron's done yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really do appreciate you taking over there.
No worries.
Yeah, I think this is a really close fight as well. I really do like how Drew Dober's stand-up has been looking. I think Bobby Green is being extremely under kind of rated coming into this fight. But for me, with Bobby Green, just looking at his last 5 out, which is, pretty relevant here. Thiago Moises, Fiziev, and Makhachev all were able to kind of handle him. His wins over Nasrat, Haqparast, and Ali Quinta. The Ali Quinta fight I don't really rate because Al was already out the door, completely retired. And Nasrat, very good competitive fight, but again, just not, like a super high level of guy. Drew Dober over his last 5. He's coming into this on 2 straight wins. McKinney and Alves both had him in a lot of trouble before he got out of that trouble. I really do think that these guys are at different points of their career. I think Bobby Green is on his way out. I really do. I think his best days are behind him. I think Dauber is just sharper striker, more direct with his punches, and I think he's going to have the more impactful shots. I think this goes to a decision. I think it's going to be close, but I think Bobby Green comes on the short end of the decision here. I got Drew here. But, yeah. Yeah, and thank you again thank you again for holding it down there. I'm just dealing with a lot of crap at home right now. Not that anybody's asking to hear about it, but I'm not just here texting nobody. I'm texting my family. But either way, thank you for holding it down there. Dauber minus 150 or Dober minus 150 plus 130 on Green. Yeah, it's good fight. Pretty interesting odds. I was expecting Green to be the favorite, but fair enough. Should be a good one. Next fight on the main card. This will be a good fight, I think, but it's kind of a confusing one to break down, if I'm being honest. Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres taking on Julian Erosa here. Two former tough guys, I believe. Both these guys were on tough at one point or another. Was Julian Erosa on tough, or am I just imagining that?
Was he on? Yeah, he was.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Juicy J, 20.
I can't believe these two haven't fought before.
Right. No, that's what I was saying too. Both these guys, kind of similar types of careers, similar types of fighters. Extreme Couture representative Julian Erosa. He's on fire right now. 3 straight wins coming into this. The split over Steven Peterson is a huge issue, obviously. It's just part of what Juicy J is. He throws caution in the wind, and sometimes it really pays off, like the Hakeem Dawodu fight where he was able to break him with that. And, you just saw Dawodu really gas out in that one and Julian take over. Charles Jourdain fight, the gas got him into the 3rd round where he was able to get the finish. Yeah, this is just a really good close fight. These guys are both extremely well-rounded. The more finishing, the killer be killed guy more so would be Erosa, but his last 2 have gone to a decision. So, he's got losses to guys like Devontae Smith, Grant Dawson, Julian Arce, or Julio Arce, I should say. Then, he's got wins over guys like Sean Woodson, Nate Landwehr, Charles Jourdain, Hakeem Dawodu. Alex Caceres, I don't think quite is in that level. 19-3 coming into this. It's been a while since we've seen him. Back in March, where he got pretty out MMA'd by Sadiq Youssef in that fight. But, he made a good enough showing for himself. Sadiq never was close to finishing him. He then had a grappling bout with Clay Guida that it's like, okay. With this Caceres, he's definitely developed his grappling much more later in his career. And that is somewhere where Julian Erosa has been taken advantage of. Caceres also can, rocket on the feet. This is a close fight, man. This is just a really close fight. I think that Julian Erosa coming into this 3 straight wins, that's a lot of really good momentum. But Caceres faced Sadiq Youssef last time out, did not look terrible at all in that fight. It was at the fight night there where it wasn't 5 rounds. Sorry, I thought it was 5 rounds for some reason. It was 3 rounds, but still good high level fight. This one's tough, man. I was leaning towards Julian Erosa. I'm still leaning that way. But I think Caceres could really surprise some people. Caceres submission is kind of a prop I'm considering though. Because I could consider, but I'm going to go with Julian Erosa in this spot. I think it does go to decision. So Julian Erosa decision probably wouldn't be a bad prop play either, since he is predominantly a finisher, but close one, man. Really close.
Yeah. Both these guys couldn't be more experienced.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Caceres, 27th UFC fight now. Julian Erosa, not as experienced in the UFC, but he's been around, man. 37 total MMA fights. Julian Erosa surprisingly has never been submitted. He's lost by 5 knockouts and 4 decisions. And Caceres isn't really a knockout artist. He's more of a submission guy. So I think Erosa is really, really good on the ground. He's got good submission defense. He has 12 submissions of his own, 4 Darce chokes, 3 arm bars, 3 triangles, 1 rear naked choke, 1 bulldog choke. He's got an arsenal of submissions, man. And Caceres has been finished 7 times by submission, 5 rear naked chokes.
I got this backwards.
2 arm bars.
I got this backwards, don't I?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, I'm thinking Erosa by submission, and they're both so experienced though. I can definitely see it going all 15 minutes. Erosa's training out at Extreme Couture with Eric Nixick, one of the best camps right now. Yeah, he's looking better and better, man. He's somehow his chin has improved. Like he can take the shots now. Before he couldn't. I don't know what he's done to improve his chin, but he's not getting knocked out by like Hakeem Dawodu. 3 years ago, he would have got knocked out by Hakeem. He would have got knocked out by Jourdain. Nate Landwehr did catch him. Oh no, he knocked out Nate Landwehr with a flying knee. So I think Erosa is just a bit better right now. Erosa 33, Caceres is 34. Caceres a fellow pothead, so you got to root for him for that.
There you go.
And he's a vegetarian as well.
Boo.
Yeah, boo on that one. But yeah, I'll take Erosa as well. I don't have an official bet yet placed, but after this breakdown, I am leaning more Erosa, and I'm gonna look at the submission prop.
Yeah,
round 3 as well. He finishes in round 1, round 2, and round 3. Man, like 6 times in round 1, 10 times in round 2, 6 times in round 3. So
in the words of Lubecha, the prop master himself, why did I bet round 3? Because it pays better.
Way better.
Yeah. Julian Rosa round 3 prop, maybe. I will always admit when I'm wrong. I was looking at the notes for the wrong fighter there. Yeah, Julian Rosa has not been submitted. So my fault there. Got my notes mixed up there. But yeah, minus 170 on Rosa. After talking with you, I feel better about this. So should be a good fight. Plus 145 currently on Alex Caceres. Another really good fight on the main card. Definite possible fight of the night. Really, the rest of the fights to go are this fight is interesting here. At 125, Amir Albazi, who is he kind of the next guy in this division or not? We'll kind of see. Taking on newcomer Alessandro Costa here. Alessandro Costa, Brazilian out of Lux. We obviously have a little bit of experience with Lux from this past weekend with Eric Silva, who was one of my more confident picks. He did not turn out to be the goods. Hopefully Alessandro will be a little bit better. He was on the contenders series as well, where he got the win over a pretty large Andre Luna Martinetti, 12-0. It was by split decision. Alessandro really likes to plant down and trade with his hooks. He has really, really good power, particularly his left hook is very, very strong. But good leg kicks as well. Has good takedowns. When he goes to the takedowns, really likes to go to the armbar pretty good. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player as well. Amir Albazi, also very good in Jiu-Jitsu, mostly. Developing the stand-up more and more. The Prince is 29. 4 straight wins for him coming into this after his loss to Jose Shorty Torres at Brave CS. Has had 3 wins by submission and a decision to Zalga Zumagulov here. With Albazi, very, very good on the ground, but the rest of the game still developing a little bit. I wish he would fight a little more often as well. He's only fought once in 2020, once in 2021, and once in 2022. This is going to be his second fight of 2022. I think the stand-up is still developing quite a bit here. I think if he takes down Alessandro, he should be able to control him and get this fight to where he needs to. But with Alessandro, I think Alessandro is going to come out here and fight like a dog, man. I think he's got nothing to lose. I'm going to take a slight shot at Alessandro at these odds because he does have legit KO power, and Albazi on the feet is a little bit suspect for me. And Alessandro is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, has a lot of finishes, particularly by armbar. Most of those armbar finishes are coming from the top position. I will say that. So I'm not sure how good his bottom game will be if Albazi gets him down there. But I think Alessandro's going to come out there, throw caution to the wind, and either be put away early by a submission or he's going to put away Albazi. So I'm taking a shot at these odds on Alessandro.
Wow. Okay. Biggest underdog on the card too.
Yep.
Amir Albazi, 15-1, unblemished in the UFC, 3-0, beating Malcolm Gordon, Zalgis Zumugulov, and Francisco Figueiredo. Costa is coming in short notice. Did you mention that?
Yeah, I did mention that.
Yeah, like he's got nothing to lose, like you said.
Yeah, he's gonna come in with a 1-round game plan, and
that's
he can
exactly
win.
what he has.
Right.
8 out of 12 round 1 finishes, 67% of the time. 8 of his wins are under 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely hedge bet Costa by round 1 finish. But at the end of the day, Amir Albazi really should have his way here. Like he's just better everywhere, in my opinion. 6-time Swedish BJJ champion. He should be able to end up submitting him.
He lost to Jose Torres.
He's good. Jose Torres is so underrated. His record's like 18-1 or something. Jose Torres.
He's fine.
He's good, man. But that was a few fights ago. That wasn't even for a championship. That was just 3 rounds.
Yep.
Costa isn't going to be able to beat him in 3 rounds. Like you said, he's going to go out on a shield. If he doesn't get it done in round 1, he's going to end up getting finished. I'm going to put some parlays in with Amir Albazi minus 500. And fight doesn't go the distance. I like that better. Fight doesn't go the distance, only minus 190.
That's really, I like that much more. Alessandro, he's a Lux champion, and like I said, Eric Silva also is a Lux champion. So a little bit of stock down right now on Lux for me personally. So we'll see. I just don't think Alessandro is that bad. Plus 350 underdog, minus 500 on Albazi. But you're probably right on that one. Co-main event. This fight is extremely close. This is a possible fight of the night again. These two just fighting a lot of close fights against really high-level European competition. Arman Tsarukyan, Damir Ismagulov here. 2 very, very well-rounded guys. Damir, good wrestler, but I think a little better on the stand-up than Arman. But Arman, short, not short in that realm. Very good from the stand-up as well. Good boxer, wrestler. Why is Smith acting like he got robbed of a title fight, like he didn't lose bad time? Yeah, I mean, we could go down this route for a while, Jay, but
like he got robbed. Anthony Smith?
When he found out that Jamal Hill got the title fight over.
He offered Jamal Hill to train. He's going to train Jamal Hill.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. But either way, Damir versus Arman here. This is a really close fight. These guys are really going to complement each other well. For me, one of the big keys is Damir's takedown defense, because I do not think Damir's going to be using the wrestling a lot in this matchup with Arman. I think he's going to be looking to make this a Muay Thai bout, look to keep this on the outside, use his, quicker, more precise striking, while Arman's going to look to use the pressure, get to the takedowns. Damir is a good wrestler though, but and this is just a close fight. I mean, we got 24-1 versus 18-3. We look at Damir here and 19 straight wins coming into this fight. I get people are a little down on him over the last few because of Rafael Alves fight. Alves had that good 3rd round. And then against Guram, it was a close fight. Guram is really, really good. Guram's on the level of an Arman Tsarukyan. He's just been very unlucky on fights like this. They hate him because Damir twitch. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, Ismagulov, he goes to a lot of decisions. In fact, he has not had a finish in his UFC career, but it's steady as she goes, man. He mixes in the takedowns and the clinch control when he needs to. He has good stand-up, good kicks, good punches. Everything looks good, man. And in a fight where I think it's just a straight-up pick-em, I think that it's a dog or pass type of situation with Arman. Good punches, good takedowns, but fights guys much closer than he should. He's 18-3 now, coming off that loss to Gamrot. Gamrot then, got pretty outclassed by Beneil, so it's hard to say how good Gamrot is here. But, this is just a fight that it's just like so close that it should be a pick'em. Both these guys have such similar skills. They face similar levels of competition, similar levels of success. When you look at, like Joel Alvarez, they both faced, and while Damir went to a decision with him and Arman finished him, Damir just really didn't have any trouble in that fight. And for me, Damir is the longer, better movement. And, honestly, this fight's going to go to a decision. So, for me, I'm going to take Damir. I think he's just a little bit better on the feet. And I think that's where this fight predominantly takes place. And he's got plus money in front of his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's dog or pass. I'm going to be watching this as a fan more as than anything. Like, I'm not going to be really betting this. I don't even have a bet on this fight yet. These guys, it reminds me of the Morozov-Kakhramonov fight. Just both two very skilled fighters, great records. They don't have a lot of flaws in their game. It's really hard to bet against either of these guys. So as a fan, I'm very excited, but as a bettor, as a gambler, I'm just, I'm going to say
everybody is, I'm staying away from betting on this fight. Labyrinth, who's more along my lines here, I'm staying away from betting this card.
Because we were so successful last week with Bellator and UFC, we don't want to give all our money back on this sketchy ass card.
You're right. This is a card that it's like, I hate to have people. First of all, we have 21 viewers right now. Thank you all for viewing this. This is awesome to have this many viewers. If you're not subscribed yet, you could be number 700. We got 21. At least hit the like button. You're here. Hi, Jesse, if you're watching. But the rest of you, hello. For me, I'm going to be a square here. Damir by decision, plus money. So
Damir's activity hasn't been that great though. He's only had the 3 fights in
very true
in like 3.5 years. Thiago Moraes in August of 2019, Rafael Alves in May of 2021, and then that split decision over Garam.
Well, it's because his fights take so long that it has to be a year later. Like every fight takes a year, so it's like
nobody wants to fight him either.
Yeah, Damir couldn't even finish Alex Gorgies.
No.
Yeah, he's still. That's how good he is.
Maybe, I think Arman is a level above. I see why the odds are in his favor, but still, like, I'll take the over. I like the over more than anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Damir plus 160, minus 190 on Arman. I'm really surprised they're that wide. But either way, great co-main event and a great card to watch. Let's finish it with a very entertaining, hopefully, main event here. Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland. Who the hell knows how this fight's gonna go? Really, I don't know what to think about Sean Strickland. I picked Sean against Pereira. I had the whole game plan right there in my head. I was like, he's gonna MMA him, and it's gonna be great. And then he held his hands down underneath his chin. They were like under his chin. They were like down here. This is the worst stand-up performance I've ever seen. And then Jared Cannonier coming off a ho-hum type of decision loss to Israel Adesanya. This is his first fight back. But Sean Strickland, he's been around for a minute in all seriousness. 25-4. I mean, his UFC career dates back to Bubba McDaniel, who he knocked out. He choked out in the first round. So it's nice. Back then, he was willing to go to the ground with his opponent. That was what a concept. Wasn't knocked out by Ponzinibbio back when Ponzinibbio was a beast also. He's just faced a high level, wasn't knocked out by Kamaru Usman. And then Elizeu Zaleski dos Anjos, one of my favorite fighters, did knock him out with the wheel kick. But you just don't know what you're getting with Sean Strickland. He's become much more of a volume striker, though, over the last 2+ years. He really has stopped mixing it up as well. The pressure that he put on against a guy like Jack Hermanson, though, I think could be a really effective type of game plan here against Cannonier. But, man, Cannonier is such a beast at 185.
Yeah, he should have a big size advantage here.
Yeah, he's going to be so much bigger. I think he's got the power to put away Sean Strickland. I also think he's got the patience to fight an intelligent game plan using a lot of good leg kicks as well. I think he could win a decision, but, as well, because Sean is very tough. He doesn't get put away unless you have ridiculous striking power like a Dos Anjos or Alex Pereira. Dos Anjos hit him with the most perfect wheel kick ever, too. Like, that's the type of power you need to put him away, but that's the type of power Cannonier has. Cannonier has good gas. He's coming back here, I think, really, really strong and healthy. This fight was supposed to happen in October, and Strickland had to pull out with a finger problem. So Strickland hasn't been training as much. He's continued to double down and say he's learned nothing about it. All right, nice. Forrest Daniels, 699. One more. Let's go. Yeah.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your grandma.
Who wants to be 700? Forrest Daniels, 69.9. But either way, for me, I'm not sure if Sean Strickland is recovered enough from that knockout. And he's facing probably the second or third hardest puncher in the division now in Cannonier. Cannonier's leg kicks, I think, are going to be huge, too, to slow down the movement of Strickland as well as this fight goes. I just think Cannonier has more ways to get this done. Way bigger, way more physical, and not as stupid. So Jared Cannonier by IQ, physical. Yeah, Jared Cannonier, I think I would say decision, honestly, just because I do think Strickland is tough. And I think sometimes Cannonier is a little too reserved sometimes. So, but it wouldn't surprise me if he got finished. But I'm just not high on Sean Strickland, man. So give me Jared Cannonier and give me him at plus 100.
Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, this is a pick 'em. This is another fight I haven't touched. I haven't bet on. It's a close one. Jared's getting up there in age as well, 38. Sean's still in the prime of his career at 31. Jared has only lost to Sean Jordan as a heavyweight in his UFC debut and to Dominic Reyes in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. He's also lost by 4 decisions, 4 unanimous to Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Robert Whitaker, and Israel Adesanya for a championship. All of those are champions. All 4 of those fighters are champions. So, yeah, he's faced the best of the best. He's got the 4th longest average fight time in the division. He's got the best significant striking defense in the division. He's got the 2nd most knockout wins. He's got the 3rd best takedown defense. So, yeah, he's got a lot of credentials there. Coming off that Israel loss, it was 49-46. Before that, he starched Derek Brunson. He beat Kelvin Gastelum 48-47. Gastelum came in short notice. And then he lost to Whitaker 29-28. Sean Strickland only losing to like Usman, Ponzi, Pereira, and EZDS. He's got the 4th most decision wins. He's got the 4th longest average fight time. So both these guys, longest average fight time. So we should really take the over. The 4th least bottom position time. He's got the 3rd most strikes landed, 2nd best striking differential, best significant striking defense. So, yeah, a lot of credentials on Sean Strickland as well. I think this is going to be really close, man. It all depends who gets their game going. Like you said, the fight IQ is definitely on Jared Cannonier's side.
Yeah.
But Sean Strickland is, if he can get his striking going, popping that jab, keeps his distance, I think it's going to be like a 48-47 type of decision, like the Kelvin Gastelum fight. I really can't give you a straight and narrow pick here.
You have to.
I'll give shit. I really haven't even.
You have to.
You got Jared.
I have
Sean.
Jared.
I'll go
okay,
Sean.
Cool. Perfect. We're going with a disagreement to end the year, ending on a low note. Also, Forrest Daniels with the weirdest lie ever, saying he's 6'99". We're at 6'92". So your friend Forrest is just a weird troll. I don't really get him at all. But
unless we lost 7. Unless we lost 7 subscribers in a minute.
Is Forrest Daniels Jesse Hobson's burner account or something? But either way, shout out to that.
Horror movies.
Shout out to that juggalo. But either way,
good show, man. Good show.
Yeah, great show. We're gonna go with the quick picks, and then it's the end of the UFC breakdowns for the year. We still got MMA breakdowns though for the rest of the year, including the Rise and Bellator breakdown. But starting at the bottom now, we're here. Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newson. I got Sergey Morozov to get a decision.
Same here.
Now Kopp versus David Dvorak. I'm going to take Kopp to keep the KO streak going. First round KO.
Dvorak, footwork, head movement, decision win.
I like it. I don't break down Brian Battle fights, but you can make your pick.
Renat by wrestling.
Okay. Mahate versus Rafa Garcia. I'm going to take Rafa Garcia and close my eyes, even though I'm not betting the fight.
Yeah, Mahati round 1 or Garcia by decision. Rafa Garcia is my official pick.
I had Nurmagomedov versus Said Yakub Karakaramanov. I got Karakaramanov here by decision.
All right. About Said Nurmagomedov by decision for me.
All right. Julian Marquez, Darren Wynn. I got Julian Marquez because he can be an MMA fighter. Good to have you here, Forrest, even if you're confusing.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Marquez, Anaconda choke. Let's go.
I love it. Jake Matthews, Matthew Summelsberger. I wanted to pick Summelsberger, but I got Matthews here to just get a decision win.
Oh, yeah, he's going to start taking over after round 1. Jake Matthews, he could even get a finish here. So, Jake Matthews.
I'd love to see the finish. Cheyenne Dolidze versus Corey McKenna. Play the split decision prop and be done with it, but Corey McKenna is my slight pick.
Yep, I like the dog and Corey McKenna. Go Wales.
Go Wales. There we go. Michelle Olajaychuk versus Cody Brundage. I like Cody Brundage to fight that dog mentality. Grind one out to a decision.
Yeah, I got Michelle, but after this breakdown with you, I'm a little hesitant. But I'm still going Michelle to outstrike him.
Fair enough. Drew Dober versus Bobby Green. This is a great fight. I like Drew Dober, though. A little more straight and crisp with the punches. Edges out decision.
Bobby Green, even though the judges hate him, I'm just going to go Bobby Green. I'm rooting for him.
This is a fight that I'm just going to copy your homework on because I was just way off when I said this. But Julian Marquez has a submission chance. I think Alex Caceres has a decision chance, but I'm going to edge towards Julian Erosa here. I think he's got a frame advantage and just going to be slightly more aggressive, but this is a close one.
Yeah, I like what I've been seeing from Erosa. He's definitely been getting better since he's went to Extreme Couture with Eric Nixick. I got him by submission round 3.
Yeah, definitely the overs is a good way to go this week. I agree with you, Haka.
Oh, yeah, a lot of overs.
Haka's a legend. I love that guy. Amir Albazi versus Alessandro Costa. Give me the Brazilian dog. First round knockout, Alessandro Costa.
Holy shit. Okay. I am hedging that, but at the end of the day, Amir is going to have his way submission prop. Amir.
I loved Alessandro before his Contenders series fight, and I'm just going to hold on to that. And he had like a 12-second knockout along the way as well. That's a really dirty knockout too. But next
train.
Yep, I'm choo-choo. Damir Ismagulov, Arman Sarukian. I got Damir to edge out a decision here at plus 160.
I got Arban to edge out a decision, but at the end of the day, just watching as a fan, I'll take the over as a better.
Yeah, I agree. And then Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland to end the UFC year. I got Jared Cannonier with a 3rd round TKO, I'll say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or decision. Yeah, actually, decision. It's a decision. Yeah. It's a decision.
Yeah.
Jared Cannonier by decision.
Both these guys have the longest average fight time. They're both up there with the top 5. I think it's going to go late. 48-47, Sean Strickland for me.
Yep. And yeah, so that's going to do it for the breakdown show here. We had 21 viewers today. We're going on a high note. If you only check out the UFC breakdowns, you should check out the other breakdowns because I will have some breakdowns for those the rest of the year. Starting in the new year, I will be keeping track of all my picks on the channel and my guest picks. So whether it's Brandon, whether it's Lewis, we'll be keeping track of those. Any other comments or feedback I'd love to hear about at Aaron Jay Brooks on Twitter, MMA Wagers on Facebook for Brandon.
Yeah,
but Brandon, thank you so much for joining me on the breakdown today. Thank you for Cass Bell for making the time to come on here.
Shout out to Cass Bell.
Yeah, shout out to all 21 plus of the viewers, 690 plus subscribers in the first year on the channel. We'll see how year 2 goes, but appreciate you, Brandon.
Years to close out the year as well.
What's that?
We got a Cage Warriors event as well. It's December 31st. So
we got a couple weeks. Got a couple weeks off, but then Cage Warriors and Bellator. Appreciate you all. I can dream about you as well. Alex Labyrinth, just my 2 cents. Moise, Forrest Daniels, even though you're a weird guy, but it's okay. I'm not weird. People are fine. All of you, I appreciate you guys all. Good luck this weekend on the bets. Bet sparingly, and we are out of here until the end of the year.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that jazz.
Yep, and we'll see you in 2023 with the UFC Breakdown Show. Peace out.
All right. Peace, guys.